This episode of Hot Survivors Near You mentions suicidal thoughts. If you or a loved one have suicidal thoughts, you should seek medical attention lest you spawn a branching universe that tragically does not include yourself. Remember, life-save technology is not yet available to the public, and you may have to save your own life by getting help now.
You have selected Fight.
Hot Survivors Near You, Episode 2, Run for Her Life, is an audience participation experience sponsored by DevCorp. DevCorp knows the currency of the internet is attention, and we thank you for listening. This broadcast is part of the Great Attention Deficit Construct. We remind our sponsors DevCorp offers additional mental focus for sale in the standard quarter goldfish, half goldfish, and full goldfish memory units. For our luxury customers, we have a premium unit of tree frog memory available. Impress your friends with the power to focus and recall. Know things you read up to 2 minutes ago, and who the hell wrote the script? That rotten thing is half a goldfish!
Top 5 reasons you are going to lose this fight to the death, in no particular order. Number 1. Your brain is unhelpful. It gave you this list when you asked it for fight moves. Also, do you smell quiche? Yummy. This poker is heavy. Your reflexes are glacial. Number 2. You are a terrible fighter. Aren't you supposed to float like a butterfly and sting like something? Jellyfish, maybe? You've got the float down. Your head feels like a naughty balloon. Bad Gleneth has no problem fighting and is obviously champion of the local zombie punch drunk league. She whacks you with the leash and lunges for your neck. Bad Gleneth must work out. Number 3. You are frozen. Everybody knows about fight or flight, but the most common response to an attack is freeze. Like Bambi in headlights. Like a politician with his pants down. Like we all wish the Arctic would stay. Frozen. Bad Gleneth doesn't have freeze problems. She chomps gleefully over the top of the poker you've wedged under her snapping jaws. She whacks you furiously with the leash claw, raising painful red stripes along your arm and making your white DevCorp bracelet bounce and twitch on your wrist. Rude. Number 4. Even if Sage could hear you, and he can't, he would get you killed faster if you called and he came in. In the other room, he can keep an eye on Checkers, who may be good in a fight. There is no way you are giving Bad Gleneth Checkers back. Over your dead body. You are tempted to give Gleneth the piece of your mind. But then you think better of it. Not that your brain is worth having right now, because it is supplying you with hyper-focus on the black goo dribbling from Gleneth's open mouth. It's black, but reflective at the same time. Shiny and dark and kind of mesmerizing? Is it possible your brownie kicked in? Not good. Still, that black dribble calls to you, and last July you were obsessed with black holes. You read all the books on them by Stephen Hawking, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Jan Levin. You were in a dark place, and something about the void just called to you. Maybe it was working at DevCorp, maybe it was life, but you liked the nothingness of a black hole. A cosmos loaded with happy little stars, then out of nowhere, bam, oblivion. Bad Gleneth's all-white stare is inches from your face now. She is making a death scream so terrible that your mind fails to process it. If you could understand it, it would infect you too. And then you might be at peace. And there it is. Reason number 5 you are going to lose this fight to the death. Some part of you wants to lose. Sure, there is a tiny chance you may have ended humanity, but the feeling was there before that. The isolation, the loneliness, the feeling that no one gets you, that maybe no one will ever get you. Maybe you're the black hole, collapsing inward, no one ever knowing what's inside, broken bits of star, gravity well, or maybe just nothing. free-falling forever, no escape. Even your atoms would cease to exist. And Alexis wouldn't even know you were gone. You can smell Bad Glyneth's breath and the delicate rot of her half-day-old corpse. This is it. If she got a piece of your mind, which piece would she take? The part of you that likes peanut butter and the smell of fresh grass? Don't think about it. Could she take the memory of Alexis? She can't. You'll remember Alexis' name long after you've forgotten your own. You can't do this for you, but you can do it for her. Bad Glyneth has the advantage, but you have someone to live for. A surge of adrenaline lights you up, and you brace to push Bad Glyneth back with the poker. It's a good thing you didn't run. This thing is way too fast. If you so much as turn your back, she'll kill you instantly. You wish you had spent more time at the gym than in the front of your phone, but it's too late now. It feels like 100 years pass as you inch Bad Glyneth's teeth away from your face. You brace your foot on her squirming rib bones and wrench the poker away at the same time that you shove. Bad Glyneth stumbles back and recovers quickly, but just as her claw grabs down, you swing the poker right into her temple, full force. Home run. You are a brilliant sports star. All of your high school coaches were wrong. If there were an award for best apocalypse hero, Bad Glyneth has not fallen down as you'd hoped, and black goo gushes from the curled end of the poker lodged in her head. Maybe she needs another swing? You pull the poker and Bad Glyneth shambles toward you. You step back and she steps forward. Back up several paces and take care not to get in range of her teeth. Try not to keep jerking her toward you. Nothing has gone right today, you say to Bad Glyneth. Would it kill you to just die already? She snarls, so no help there. Help. Right. Sage, can you bring me the hammer?
Okay,
Sage says, which could mean, yes, I'll definitely bring a weapon to save your life, or, just as likely, I will totally forget this conversation while Bad Glyneth and I have a nice snack. You try to hold Bad Glyneth off with the end of the poker in her skull. It's like being handcuffed to a rabid dog. She yanks and lurches toward you, biting so hard she splits a molar with a dark gush. You wish she was not close enough for you to see that. Also, ew. Sage and Checkers charge down the hallway. Sage is barefoot, and Checkers is naked, of course, but you are not about to judge. Sage has the brush tool from the fireplace, and Checkers skips merrily behind. She nips his heel playfully.
Glyneth, bad! Stop! Bad Glyneth!
Sage punctuates each word with a healthy whack of the fire broom. Checkers skitters into the room behind him and looks from Bad Glyneth to you and back to Bad Glyneth. She sniffs a long sniff before growling at Glyneth. It's obvious Checkers knows something is wrong. That thing is not her master. She snarls, but carefully avoids biting. Sage's broom attacks may be doing nothing, but you were right about Checkers. She keeps up her yip assault and wags her tail at you helpfully. You are her master now. Sage may be totally ineffective at actually hurting Bad Glyneth, but he has distracted it long enough to give you time to think. Bad Glyneth tries to impale herself along the long handle of the poker to reach you. She pushes it farther into her head. You punch the poker in deeper before vigorously twisting it into her skull cavity, like you're scrambling eggs. Glyneth drops to the floor. Black goo coats the poker as she slides down, but her bones snag the curved end. You spend a few minutes extracting the poker while Sage stares. You turn to him. Do we have any quiche left?
You killed her. You're gonna go to jail and stuff, and all you can think about is quiche?
Says Sage. I'm hungry. And that is not Glyneth, you say. Checkers yips in agreement.
What are you talking about, man? That's Glyneth. She's a human being and you murdered the shit out of her.
Sage enunciates each word carefully. He must think you are the worst roommate ever. You drag your poker back down the hall to the kitchen. Sage saved you a third of the vegan quiche, and Checkers has a plate of it on the floor. Is that fresh basil? You love basil. Sage, this looks amazing. I will eat it in your honor, sir, you say. It would seem that when your life is not on the line, the fuzzy-buzzy high comes back pretty fast.
I'm the last person I'd expect to say this, but I think we need to sober up and call the cops, and maybe my dad's a lawyer. I'll hide the rest of the pot. You Google just murdered my neighbor.
You stop spooning quiche onto your plate and turn back to face Sage. Try hard not to laugh at the first time you've ever seen him be responsible. That was not Gleneth. Go touch her body, not the teeth or nails. See if she isn't room temperature, cold even. You take a big bite of glorious quiche and ignore the etiquette that says not to talk with your mouth full. This is the end of the world, after all. In a few years, people won't even remember what the word etiquette means. Not like this quiche, which is hot and awesome. Is this toasted yeast in here? Where's Checkers? As if on cue, Checkers pops her head around Sage and scrambles up to her plate. She buries her snout in a tall mound of fluffy quiche. Why did people stop cooking this? You carry your plate back into the room with the super dead thing, because Sage is exactly the kind of person to touch what you told him not to, because you told him not to do it. You stop him as he reaches for its teeth. See that black ooze? You gesture at the gaping crater in Gleneth's head with your fork. That is not blood. Just like that's not Gleneth. She was dead when she got here. Sage approaches the corpse with more caution. Is it still only a corpse if it's been killed twice? Nah, screw that. Sage approaches the double corpse with caution. Double corpse? What does it mean? You laugh to yourself. Bad internet joke. The warm metallic glint from your earlier high reasserts itself, washing over you like a pulse wave under your skin. Sage pokes Bad Gleneth with the fire broom. The bristles sticken to her skin. He reaches down and carefully touches her wrist, the one which held the leash. You can tell by his disgusted face that she is indeed as cold as meat. He peers into the dark cavity of her skull. Blood is not black, you offer between bites of quiche. Sage squats and pokes a pen into the hole in Bad Gleneth's skull. He shakes his head, stands up, and wanders into his room. You hope he's not in there calling the cops. You head back to the counter. Checkers snorts into her faux eggs before gazing lovingly at you. A stray bit of basil hangs limp over her nose. Sage rips his room apart. You hear a vase crash against the wall. Checkers jumps into your lap. She is so soft and warm. Stroke her absently, but be gentle. She's probably mourning Gleneth. Sage has returned from his room. He carries a long, heavy glass bong you have never seen before. You have eaten too much quiche, and a swollen feeling bubbles up under the warmth of Checkers. You are uncomfortable, but not miserable. Sage sits next to you in the kitchen and proceeds to pack the bong with more weed than you have ever seen anywhere. If you had known he had this in his room, you would have kicked him out months ago. The two of you sit there in silence as he fills the thing. You and Checkers try not to judge.
I can't handle this sober. I'm sorry, but this has got to happen,
Sage says as he lights the mini weed plant he has stuffed into the bong. He draws a long, deep breath of smoke as the thing bubbles up, but he's packed it so full that the weed keeps caving in on itself, putting the fire out. His hands shake as he relights it a third time. Sage takes another full breath of the smoke and finishes out coughing. Checkers sneezes at him. You, done there, buddy? Sage shakes his head no, his eyes barely open. He flushes bright pink and sways in his chair. Sage relights the cherry again and takes a breath so deep you think he may suffocate. He coughs until he chokes, then reaches for the lighter with shaking fingers. You grab the bong from him. The glass of it is milky and warm, and fruit fly green in your hand. So shiny. Focus. I need you to be able to walk. I understand this is some heavy stuff, but if you can't walk, I'll have to leave you here, and it's not safe. Sage nods. Do not take any more drugs today, okay? Sage looks like he wants to argue with you, but he nods. We are leaving. I don't mean the house. We are leaving town and maybe the country. He nods. Sage scuttles off to his room and starts cramming substances of dubious legality into a large sock. You grab your backpack from your room and dial a Lexus number on your cell as you cram a backpack full of bottled water and canned goods. The phones are down. That was much faster than you had hoped. You have no weapons and, more disturbingly, no can opener. You decide to pick up supplies at F-Mart on the way to Alexis' apartment. It was not your best decision, but going to F-Mart is never anyone's first choice. At least Sage had the good idea to leave Checkers in the car for now. When you arrive at F-Mart, there is a raging fire through the frozen food section. You can't tell what's burning, but it smells like melted plastic, rotten meat, and hopelessness, which you didn't know had a smell, but does. There's a bloody intestine trail from the front headed toward the sporting goods. On closer inspection, it seems the smears are from someone running while their guts spooled out behind them. Like, no time to stop for my organs because there is something scarier than being disemboweled back there. Several of the metal display shelves are splattered with black ooze. They are melting in places. Hill-sized, dark purple tentacles spill from the ceiling in the crafts section. You pause a moment to watch them wrap around a screaming man before squeezing him like a tube of toothpaste. That was not minty fresh,
I don't think we need a can opener that bad,
said Sage. We'll need guns. We may have to fight our way into Alexis' building.
Oh, you're not girlfriend. We're risking death by a purple tentacle monster to save the coffee shop girl.
Don't call her that.
I'm just saying, you don't see me gearing up to save Sunlight, and we've been sleeping together for 6 months. I'm here to save me. You might die for someone you're not even with.
Sage's idea of romance is sharing a bowl and nodding off during a binge watch. If he doesn't understand, you aren't going to explain it to him. You love Alexis. Not knowing her is a minor detail. You know the important things from her socials. She loves dogs. She's going to be thrilled with Checkers. She works out constantly. And she was nice to you when no one else acknowledged that you exist.
We should get moving,
Sage said, his eyes following one of the purple tentacles slithering towards you both. Is this what those bastards at DevCorp were up to? Some Cthulhu 2.0 horror fuel? You remember the blood from under the door at Lab 305. Those scientists deserve to spend the rest of their undead existence shambling around. Who even thinks up a tentacle monster the size of a bus? Reverse engineer that one. Imagine a group of guys just sitting around the coffee pot one morning, and one of them says, "You know what I think we should do today? Build a madness-inducing tentacle monster. What do you think, Martin?" And instead of hopping up, ripping the guy's arm out of the socket, and beating him to death with it, Martin Reed says, "Let's make it purple. It's impossible to be scared of anything purple." You don't want to think about DevCorp. The F-Mart aisles are jammed with panicked looters, and you remember all those Black Friday stories of sweet little old ladies trampling kids to death in the potholder aisle, their wrinkled hands clutching buy one, get one coupons. You need to dodge everyone else and focus on getting to the gun counter. Newly infected are mingling with people trying to snatch food. You see some poor souls still in line to pay, like shoplifting means anything anymore. "It's the end of the world, you bleached-brained idiots! Run! Run for what's left of your lives!" you shout as you glide past the checkout lines. You don't usually sound like that, but maybe helpless terror is always just an octave away. There is a woman pushing a cart filled with kittens in the aisle next to you. She's holding a new hunting rifle and walking purposefully toward the exit. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast, I guess. You feel hot? Well, those fluorescent lights and running through the store. Oh no. You slide up the sleeve of your jumper, and there is a long black gash near your wrist by the white DevCorp bracelet. Bad Glyneth must have scratched you when you were struggling with the poker. It doesn't hurt, but it really should. You feel fever like a second pulse. Should you have run instead? Maybe. You're not going to waste your last moments on Earth second-guessing yourself. At least you'll have a fever and a shit ton of guns in a few minutes. You know you're near the sporting goods section by the trail of infected dead. There are piles of them the closer you get to the gun counter. So far, no one has gotten greedy, and although the display cases are smashed, it's obvious most people who make it this far have not taken all the guns for themselves. You snatch up 3 hunting rifles with scopes, which seem to be in pristine shape, and 4 big boxes of ammo. Screw the carrying cases. You've already stuffed your bag with canned beans, soups, vitamins, and more distilled water than you should be able to carry. But oddly, your arms don't hurt. In fact, you can't feel them at all.
Got the can opener.
Sage says with a huge smile.
Also, 30 pounds of kibble.
He pushes the cart outside F-Mart, and you drag behind. You have a gross, spoiled feeling, like tainted meat, but brush aside the idea immediately. How can someone feel rotted? Ridiculous. Well, that was weird. You don't usually have a lisp when you are thinking. The drive to Alexa's apartment is tougher than you remember. The car keeps swerving out of its lane.
You okay?
Asks Sage. Checkers yips at you. You have trouble moving your hands along the wheel, and your neck is too stiff to check your blind spot. You feel something stirring inside. Something not you. For now. You don't want to lie to him. Maybe there is still something you can do. You can find an antidote, or antiviral, or something. Alexa's apartment building is clear. Sage offers to carry the supplies, but you lug the bag up the stairs anyway. Your arms are kind of popping out of their sockets, but it doesn't hurt. It's easier to carry this way, actually. You knock on her door.
Hey, I remember you. From the coffee shop.
Alexis says, from the coffee shop, like she's asking you a question. Yes. You manage to pull together words. I missed my espresso today.
Come in,
She says, and lightly takes hold of your arm. She nods at Sage. When she touches you, it's like coming home to a batch of chocolate chip cookies. Warm and perfect, and so full of comfort that you could be someone else, some happy person whose biggest problem in life is not eating too many perfect cookies when they come home to their perfect house and their perfect wife, Alexis. You want to bury yourself inside this feeling, but she is leading you over to her couch. You half fall, half sit, letting the bag of guns and food drop to the floor. Sage follows you over. I hope you like beans, you mutter as cans fall out of the bag. You mean, hi, Alexis. I love you, Alexis. You're the best part of me. But you couldn't have said that if you were at full strength, let alone now.
Sure.
She smiles. Both of you sit there in silence, and it's like being alone, even though you're with 2 other people. I'm here to save you, you say after several minutes on the couch. Sage looks extremely uncomfortable on the other seat, like he's forgotten how hands work. He may be so high he has forgotten how hands work. Alexis smiles at you, but you think maybe it's her customer service smile. The news is on loop in the background. Flash after flash of pixelated explosions flit across the screen as the military tries to contain the outbreak. The anchorman is jabbering about transmission and headshots. You are too tired for this. Maybe you can lay down. It's obvious from the way Sage and Alexis are looking at you with pity that you are dying. Sage is quiet for once. I'm here to save you, you croak again. Your arms and legs spasm.
Of course you are. Thank you?
Alexis says. She is even more beautiful than you remembered. Her hair is shinier, her lips redder. Everything about her puts you at ease. You feel yourself drifting away, but not to sleep. You know you don't have much time. She brushes your hair softly out of your eyes. Her wrist has a food smell as it passes in front of your face. The part of you which is still human shudders and pukes in your throat. Not food, not your Alexis. She is the type of girl who remembers to thank you during an apocalypse. Thank you for bringing a ball of contagious death to her apartment. I've always loved you, you sigh.
Yes, I know.
She pauses for a moment, stares out the window, then back at you.
I've always loved you too?
She says, looking into your eyes to make sure you believe her. You're not sure if she's lying, and you don't want to be sure, and you're just going to take the win. Guns, good. Ammo, good. Food, good. Take, leave. Human you is losing the ability to speak, but you stumble through it anyway. Alexis nods, her mouth a grim line. She knows these are your last words. They aren't eloquent, but your whole heart runs through them like a river.
You did, save my life.
She says as she stands.
This food, these guns, I couldn't have gotten them myself.
Alexis loads the rifle and tucks it under her arm. She puts the bag in a rolling cart she has. Sage follows her to the doorway.
Bye, dude,
Sage says.
I'll always remember you.
Alexis says. You smile with the half of your face that still moves. Is love saving someone? You follow her out the door with your eyes. The last thing you see is her taking aim at your head from the hall. Exhale as the gun flashes. You did it. You saved her. The bullet is coming. She's going to be just fine.
You have been identified as non-living by your DevCorp employee bracelet. You don't think you're the first employee to try to skirt sick day policy by being dead, do you? Adorable. As a security associate at DevCorp, you were always at high risk of accidental death, making you the perfect candidate to test LifeSave technology at no added cost to us. LifeSave registers an exact copy of your physical body at its healthiest point in the past 24 hours and transfers your consciousness to the nearest multiverse version of you. Whoa there! We can hear the Interdimensional Civil Rights Coalition's lawyers from here. Listen, these aren't original versions of you per se. And what even is murder on a particle level? These guys are so uptight. Looks like the nearest version of you is canine? You didn't let the bracelet scan non-human DNA, did you? You really can't predict user error. You think you've got all the kinks out of a system and then bam, some idiot pets a corgi. We do have a scan from the previous day. This version of you is astonishingly depressed. He's watched inside like 10 times. We're really not convinced this guy is any good in an apocalypse. Your second choice is to checkers or not to checkers. That is the question.
To join the Hot Survivors Near You audience participation experience, please visit http://www.buzzsprout.com/2070990 to complete a poll for next week's episode, or message us. It's listeners like you that help us make Hot Survivors Near You special. We look forward to your feedback. Thank you for listening to Hot Survivors Near You, Episode 2, Run for Her Life. Special thanks to Oak Hill Audio for our musical themes, Jackson Partham as Sage, Kristen Jo Ferrer as Alexis, and Sarah Vos for producing. We also want to thank our new audio engineer and narrator, Joel Schrank, who replaced ASPN Audio after the accident. Thoughts and prayers to Brooks Coker and Eric Thompson. You are mighty oaks in the forest of our broadcast. Some might say literally. In other news, DevCorp's new fertilizer, Instagrow, has passed our first round of field tests with flying colors. We probably shouldn't have tested it in an actual field, and the main colors that flew were femoral red. But you gotta crack a few eggs when you're growing asparagus the size of a walrus.